Good morning everyone, welcome to another vlog on the world of coasters. Today we're on the final leg of our Midlands trip. Louise has an eyelash in her eye. But we're on the final leg of our Midlands trip. We've travelled, well, the first part wasn't a Midlands one, it was Legoland. Then we went up to Blackpool, and then we came to Alton Towers, and now we're on the final day at Drayton Manor. We're using some rainy day guarantee tickets we had from when we came on National Roller Coaster Day, which was Louise's birthday. That day,
a very rainy day.
It was very rainy. It's so rainy, in fact, we were unable to vlog because, of course, that was the first time we'd ever come to this park. So I really wanted to vlog it. I was so excited to vlog a brand new park, and it was like hammering it down all day. So we didn't film anything. Anyway, we're back here today. It's the 15th of September today, and we're here to have a good day. But as you probably saw from the previous shot, the Shockwave is shut today. I'm gutted. I love it. We did get on every coaster last time and we had a really good time, but you know, it's shut. I love the Shockwave. It's brilliant.
It's going on that one there.
What, Stormforce 10?
Yeah.
Maybe later. I do have a spare pair of trousers in the car, so possibly. But yeah, this is a very nice scenic park. Of course, Drayton Manor is one of the smaller parks. It's a family-run park in Staffordshire, England. Got a few good coasters here. Of course, you've got Shockwave, which is a stand-up coaster by Intamin. You've got Stormforce 10 over there as well, which is an Intamin lock flume ride, very similar to Valhalla, but not quite as good, but still a very good water ride. You get soaked on it. We've got a Zampala powered coaster over there called the Buffalo, which is very rickety, but still a good laugh. Over here we got a Vekoma Junior Boomerang coaster, which was themed to Ben 10 and now is like themed to Roadsters and all that. And the fourth and final credit is over in Thomasland. You've got the Troublesome Truckers or something like that. And
That's easy for you to say.
It's actually a really good junior coaster. I really enjoyed it. The other roller coaster here, which is standing but not operating, is G-Force, which is a Mauer X-Car coaster. Sadly shut last season, so it's a credit I'll never get. And the only other one that I've ridden of these is Rip Ride Rocket in Universal Orlando. But this one had a very unique layout, the beyond vertical hill lift that goes upside down. But yeah, they shut it, and they said it's not coming back, but there has been hoo-has that it might be coming back next season now. I don't know, so hopefully it will come back, because we will be back here next year. This will be the last time we visit this season. But yeah, join us on this beautiful day, complete contrast to the other time we visited, as we explore Drayton Manor Theme Park. Right, so over the past few years, this park sadly has seen a little bit of neglect. It's in a downturn in customers, mainly because of the river rapids accident that happened here. A few girls, where a young girl was thrown from the ride, but it was due to her own negligence of standing up. Like, it's very sad and tragic that it happened, but you know, millions of people ride these every year and they do absolutely fine on them. But yeah, they've seen a downturn in customers, so a lot of the rides have closed, including G-Force, which is due to like parts. They had a dark ride in their like pirate area, which is closed. Of course, the rapids is closed as well. Louise is posing with the fisherman. I think we're getting Insta of that. One thing I do really like about this park is the fact that they've got one of the flumes dryers from Alton Towers. Anyone who was at Alton Towers before the flume vanished, they realised that this is actually one of the dryers from that park. And the other thing about Drayton Manor that I really like is it's a family theme park, so it's not owned by like Merlin or a big corporation. It's just one theme park that's been owned for years, and yeah, it's grown. The rapids was all around Shockwave. I'll show you in a second. Here's G-Force, still closed off to the public. It is really sad to see. Like I say, even if they just opened it so I could come ride it, but apparently it's broken so they can't open it. But yeah, it's a Mauer X-Car ride, and it does look pretty cool. It's not the longest layout in the world, but that hill lift that takes you up upside down and drops you down, there's like a good pop of air time up there. It's just a shame to see these roller coasters standing but not operating, but hopefully it doesn't mean it's the end of the road for it, because they did say it was going, but now they're umming and ahhing about it. So Drayton Manor operates at staggered openings, a bit like Alton Towers. They've seen a lot of damage to like their reputation because of what's happened on the rapids. and they obviously need to like stagger their openings because it's quieter now. Like it's a weekend, it's a Sunday, it should be busy. It's pretty quiet at the moment. Thomas Land normally opens from 9:30. Sorry, the park opens from 9:30. Thomas Land opens from 10, and then the rest of the rides open from 10:30. We're just coming past Shockwave now. Behind me, you can see what was the entrance to the Rapids ride over here. Behind that wall, it's all closed off, and sadly, it doesn't look like Shockwave's going to be open for us today. In fact, there is a sign saying it's closed for maintenance today. So yeah, one thing about this this roller coaster, obviously, it's part of the 3 roller coasters that opened in 1994 alongside Nemesis and the big one. So it's a bit of a shame we're not going to be able to ride it today. We did manage to ride it on National Roller Coaster Day. We did a front row on it, so this is a 1994 Intamin stand-up coaster. Brilliant ride though, I really did like it. Of course, the other special thing about this one is it's the only stand-up roller coaster in the world to feature a 0G roll. And it's actually a really good element. I don't know why they're not on more of them, to be honest. So you can't really see a lot through there, but just through there, there's the entrance to the Rapids, which is all closed off now. Great shame to see, because it looks like it was a good Rapids. Hopefully they will open it one day. Back over here we have what is one of the best water rides in the country, in my opinion, one of the best log flumes. I really do like the Intamin log flume rides. Yeah, this you get soaked on this one, don't you? So this opened back in 1999 and it's themed to a lifeboat going out in a Stormforce 10 storm, which is like an impressive, like very powerful storm. And the thing I do like about this one, I'm getting spray on the camera I can see, is the second you come out of the station, just like a lifeboat coming out of like a station on the seaside, it drops down a first drop and you get soaked. So then you end up going into this it's like waterfall effect which you get soaked on. After that you go into this turntable where you get turned around and go down a backwards drop, one of the signature elements on an Intamin rock flume. And then the final big drop up here, which is a super soaker to say the least. I think we will probably do this one at some point today because it is meant to be 21 degrees and with Shockwave being shut it's a bit, you know, a bit sad, but yeah, great ride. So there are a lot of Intamin rides here. We got a Intamin gyro swing here, which is the Maelstrom, which didn't do last time, might do this one today. It was always a popular one. So we need to select a ride because it's coming up to 10:30 and the park's about to open all of its rides. Where are we going? Towards the back of the park first? They've got some pretty okay dark rides here. Obviously with the Pirate one closed now, the only offerings really are the Haunting, which is a Vekoma Madhouse. And what else we got? We got the laser shooting one that used to be sponsored by Golden Nuggets.
Should we do that one?
Yeah, let's do that one. And then of course at the back, probably my favourite flat ride here. It's a drop tower, guys. We got Apocalypse, which is the...
What are those things sticking out?
They're cameras to take your picture as you drop.
No.
The great thing about this, it's got a sit down, a stand up with floor and a stand up without floor. And last time I did the stand up floorless a couple of times and it is good. It's good. I love the Intamin drop towers. They're one of the best out there. I really think Thorpe Park could do well with investing in one of those. Have to try and get Louise on it today, maybe just the sit down side, but it's a great ride. So over there is where the Pirate Dark ride is. I don't actually know the name of it, the air is closed. Then right next door is a Dodgems ride called Dodgems Ahoy. Pretty well themed Dodgems. So up here we've got the, it was Ben 10 the ride, but now it is Accelerator, which the theme doesn't quite match because they've left the theming element on top up here of the giant laser beam, and you can see where they've kind of tried to integrate the Ben 10 theme with this new racing one, but it's still all Ben 10 themed, really. Still a good attempt though. It's an alright junior boomerang. It's different from the one at Porton's Park. Yeah, I think it's better than the one at Porton's Park actually. It's a slightly different layout. But look at this view, guys. I like a theme park with a lake, and if any of you...
a bay lake.
There you go. So you can see a massive amount of the park. Obviously Shockwave shut, that's such a shame. But yeah, what a view. We've had a slight change. We're not going over to the Golden Nugget Dark Ride first. I can't think of the name of the ride. I'm going to butcher them all day, guys. We're heading over.
Forced us to go on the most scary ride.
We're going on the Buffalo, which is a Zampala powered coaster, and it runs one train. And it also has this really narrow bit of track up here.
It kind of shot itself in the foot with that.
It's a budget ride. Zampala always do budget rides, but yeah, the track is really narrow, and you got this bit where it goes out and back, and literally you couldn't fit 2 trains along here. So I like it. Zampala have done a good job with like how they make their rides budget.
It's like over the water slide.
Oh yeah, and it's quite a fast roller coaster, isn't it? And it's got a decent long layout. It's a bit sluggish at times, but towards the end, it's a good ride. So let's go on the Buffalo roller coaster. Right guys, so Drayton Manor has the standard theme park policy, no on-ride videoing without permission, so obviously that means general public not allowed. You can't even request to use a GoPro mount, so I'm going to have to put you away, and we'll see you when we get off the ride. So let's enjoy the first ride. Great first ride on Buffalo. Quite good operations here today. Obviously this one is restricted by the fact that it only has the one train. They do 2 circuits on it. I wonder if they only do one when it's busy, because it is quite a long ride, isn't it? We're going to head over towards the Haunting and the Golden Nugget ride, as I'm going to call it, or Golden Nugget ride, because that's what it was sponsored by. I'm still trying to persuade Louise to go on Apocalypse, but I don't think it's open, so she might be in luck. One other thing I forgot to mention, this park has a zoo. Not as impressive as Chessington's one, by no means, but it is still quite good. They've got some pretty cool tigers, haven't they, and you can see quite well. And they've also got, Pandemonium over here, the one in the back. And you've also got this Flying Dutchman ride, which we went on last time in the rain, didn't we though? Yeah. We seem to like spinny rides in the rain, and my god, these were like nearly whacking into each other because of the wind. But they've got a decent selection of flats here. It's just a shame that Shockwave shut today, because that is my absolute favourite ride here, as I'm sure it is with a lot of people. See that there, Pandemonium, looks like a ride I'd give a go, but I know I'd probably feel quite ill after it. Though it only spins in one direction, so I'd probably be fine on it. So as well, you can see Apocalypse is now testing, so we're probably getting a key for that. Guess what was on that? It speeds up when it gets to the top. That's the stand-up floorless, the sit-down for the back. So we've got the stand-up with no floor here on the front, so that is the literal one where you're just suspended. Hurricane Condor at Port Ventura has one of those, and it's absolutely mental because it's probably double the height of this one. And you've got the sit down back here. Seems to be running in a bit of a limp mode at the moment. They don't normally go up this slow, they're quite quick. So the convenient thing about the dark rides in this park is you've got the Haunting right here, and then right next to it you have the Laser Dark ride, which I can actually give you the name of now. So the Haunting is open, it's just really quiet, and it's called the Sheriff Showdown. And it's just a small little ride, and it's quite well themed, but I think it could be a bit darker in here, it's a little bit too bright. Anyway, let's go on Sheriff Showdown, that used to be sponsored by the Golden Nugget cereal. So we got our revolvers on this one. We are okay to film on the dark rides in here, which is good. So this screen that shows us what's going on and targets. bit of interaction when you shoot the targets. This is like the trial area here, and then you enter the range, which I think is a little bit too bright. It should be a little bit darker. Oh. Okay, we are back. Thought we broke down then. So you shoot some of the targets, and tells you your score back here. So I'm back left, Louise is front right. So it does tell you scores. I thought it didn't. Oh, and these orange ones, if you shoot them, you get a bonus. No. Like there is a little bit of interaction when you hit the targets. You can hit like 3 targets at once. Like there's 2. You can hit like it's got very wide range on this ride. And it's only a short little ride. That is the end of it now. We're going to be entering the station again. Right, so we've just come off of a couple of rides back to back on Sheriff Showdown. I won the first one, and I filmed a POV. Louise absolutely destroyed me, didn't you? So we're now going next door, and we're going to go on the haunting. It's a very well put together madhouse. It's quite scary actually, isn't it, for little kids? Let's go and find some paranormal activity.
Hello, my name is Dr. Ghostman, and I am talking to you now from our head of research here at the Ripper Institute. RIPPER stands for Research into Paranormal Activity, and there's certainly some of that here. I shall be in radio contact the whole way, so don't worry. My assistant will now lead you through into the basement. So, thank you. Hello, Dr. Ghostman here. Almost as soon as you enter the vicarage, we received very high levels of activity. High as in above your heads.
So there we go, we've just come off of the haunting. They didn't seem to have a problem with filming in the rooms prior to the special effects room, but once you get into the madhouse they're like, can you put the camera away please, because it's actually a ride and obviously you want that to put on the rides. Though with the Gold Rush, the operator said it was fine to film on, but I think that's because it is just such a, tame ride. The coasters of course and all that are a total no-go. But what do you think of that? I do like that. It's got some good effects, especially like the special effects room, and obviously the actual madhouse has some projection mapping in it, which I think is pretty cool. Once you come out into this gift shop over here, which I'm not gonna lie, looks a little bit bare, but they sell some pretty cool merch, including if you're a bit of a pin collector. I know a lot of the viewers are. You've got a Drayton Manor pin here. I like to collect these. Kind of say where we've been over the years. We're just back to bargain. They have these jam jars here, and they're on sale for 50p each. Don't get me wrong.
They're not glass, but
they're plastic. They've got the logo. But I just said to Louise, we're cutting the top of one of them, and we'll use that as a coin jar, and the other one we'll put some stones or something in and make it look pretty. But for 50p, that's not too bad. Yeah.
I don't know.
For 50p, it's not too bad. The merch here isn't too badly priced. The pins inside were £2, which is cheap compared to Alton Towers and the likes. It looks like at the moment Apocalypse is still closed. They seem to be having some issues with it at the moment. None of the towers are open, but they are testing it consistently, so hopefully it'll be opening up a bit later on. So with Apocalypse still closed at the moment, we're going to head over to the Drunken Barrels, which is this really heavily themed teacup ride.
With a German
Beer maid.
Beer maids, that's what they're called. There.
So there is actually a soundtrack in here again, but they have their soundtracks really quiet. It should be blaring in here. Good level of theming though. Right, so we've just come off of the Drunken Barrels, which they were probably one of the most intense teacup rides we've ever been on. It had the special element, the fact that the floor tilted, which made the whip quite badly, and we were trying to control it so it didn't spin as fast, because if you let it do it for the whole ride cycle, you'd be like throwing up everywhere. But it's a very well themed ride actually, wasn't it? It's like almost a bit of a reminiscent of the parks from the 90s where they really cared about their theming. In fact, all the dark rides along this park aren't too bad. I would have loved to have done the pirate one. It appears Apocalypse is still closed, so are we going to head towards Thomas Land, that sort of area?
Yeah.
We're going to go over to Louise's favourite land, Thomas Land. I think we should do the...
It's Soda Island.
So crowd levels here, it's a lot busier than it was the other day, but they seem to handle the crowds quite well. It's a very similar sort of crowd level to Portland Park, would you agree?
I miss Portland Park.
We're going to be going there next month. We went at the beginning of the season, but it was totally unplanned. I didn't love it. Yes, it's definitely open. We'll definitely be going there next month, in the middle of the month. But yeah, crowd levels are very similar. Like, it's busy, but it's not like uncontrollable. All the queues are within about half-hour radius. And I've noticed it's really starting to cloud over now. I do hope the rain stays off, otherwise this vlog may be cut short. Can't have that. Size-wise, this park is about as similar to Chessington. It's definitely of that sort of size. It's not a massive park. It does look bigger than it is. But yeah, it's all around this massive hub area where the lake is. We're going to go round via the zoo to Thomas Land. There is a little train that takes you from the zoo to Thomas Land. And I'm getting that vibe because last time when we came here, the queue for the train was quite long, wasn't it? I'm thinking less people are going to be taking the zoo to the Thomas Land, they'll be coming from Thomas Land to the zoo. So if you peel off down here past all the shops, you have the Drayton Manor Zoo, which has this really impressive sign. I really like it. It does look a bit of a shell of the zoo it used to be. There are a decent selection of animals here, including there are tigers, there are some monkeys. Compared to Chessington Zoo though, it's kind of not as impressive, and like every park you've got the pizza and pasta. So the zoo opens its gates from 9:30 till 5:30, so even when the park's closed you can come into the zoo for a while, which is nice. No, I've never known that. Over here we got the Magic Castle ride, which we don't know what it is. It's closed all year apart from Christmas, but it looks like a dark ride. But we'll never see what it is because we're not going to be here over Christmas. You will escape, eh? Oh, it sees you got food, Lou.
Oh no.
It's like, you give me a hula hoop now.
No, you have to eat your meerkat food.
Look, it's like, it smells the hula hoops. It wants the hula hoops.
Oh,
It will be your friend.
Can they get out?
So we've come into the Reptile House now. See some reptiles. Where are we going here?
Oh, look at them! There's little orange froggies. They are golden Nutella. Oh, look at this.
Spot the toad. There he is. He's just chilling, having a lazy Sunday. Thinking of watching some roller coasters, but he doesn't have the internet. Out here we've got loads of birds, right next to the Sumatran tigers. So we've got like parrots, there's a umbrella cockatoo trying to escape. Your aunt's got a parrot, hasn't she? She's got a macaw one.
I'm getting it in the wheel, which is just great.
And they're talking to macaw parrots, they've actually got some here.
What am I going to do with it for real?
Donate it or sell it. But it's a red one, isn't it? So it's a bit like that one there. Fun fact, we were just talking to one of the keepers inside the parrot enclosure just now about the macaws, and we were saying that our aunt's got a macaw, And if if they start swearing, they have to move them out of the cage because it's a children's zoo. And obviously you can't have them swearing, so they have to move them away. So it's pretty sad.
I didn't even donate it then.
No, not to Drayton Manor. And the thing is, they live for like 90 odd years, don't they? They live for a long time. The wasps here are almost non-existent. I know it's a little bit cloudy, but it's by no means wet or cold. It's probably not far off the same temperature as yesterday. It was forecast to be 22 today, but I don't think it's quite going to reach it. I do keep feeling slight bits of moisture in the air, like a single like speck. But we will have a day here where it doesn't rain. Let's go have a look at the tigers. Are they in here? Last time we came in here, the tigers were having a bit of a tussle in here, weren't they? They were literally rearing up and attacking each other. I think I got some of it on my phone, but
they're not being that bad.
They seem to be in their enclosed bit at the back where you can't get to. So this sign is just a warning for Asian hornets over like native hornets because they're really aggressive and they can be fatal, Asian ones. So around here they've also got the Veterinarian Hospital where you can actually watch procedures taking place. They're obviously not working today, but yeah, they've got the slab there and you can watch. I can't imagine they do the tigers on that tiny little bench. So we've left the main bulk of the zoo now. It's not a massive zoo, there is more to see to it, but it's not very well laid out as it goes. Oh yeah, yeah. And this leads into like a dinosaur area where there's some birds up here. You've got the hornbill, and then like a dinosaur park where it has like models of all the various dinosaurs, including the T-Rex, which you can see its butt over there behind the head-butting dinosaurs. So when you come around here, there is a train which does a circuit round to Thomasland, and there's various old buildings along here, including this like, it's like Penny Arcade area, but you can't use any of the Penny Arcade things.
If you want to go to a Penny Arcade, go to Yarmouth. Great
Yarmouth, near the Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. And there's a nice little cafe here, but yeah, this train will take you to Thomasland, and there's a few more enclosures to see, including Louise's favourite, the bunnies, which we're going to now. So on this side of the park, obviously it is mostly the zoo, but they have kind of tied a little bit of Thomasland into this area, mainly with this like little tractor ride that you can like go around on. So yeah, we've got a few more enclosures, including the petting zoo, which is back here, but the petting zoo is actually all closed. You can't go in there and pet the animals, but this is the Thomasland ride I was talking about here. It's just like a little like driving ride, and yeah, it's more like petting zoo style around here, but you can't pet the animals because it says on the things you're not allowed to touch them, which is a bit pointless in my opinion. So here are the reason for the whole entire vlog, the reason for travelling 150 miles, and little puffy bunny. Not as cute as Louise's rabbits.
Look at the one at the end.
Oh, I prefer this white one.
Why? Was that the one? No, it was the other one that was
the dumpling. So when the trains come in, they come in and they turn them around so they're always facing the right way, which is a little bit unnecessary, but I suppose they are Thomas and friends, so they need to be pulling the cars. But we're going to take this to Thomasland. Hopefully it won't be too long a wait. The same train has been sitting here the whole time, it is full. So
just a safety. Ask all passengers to remain seated. Keep your hands and arms inside the carriages throughout your journey.
So as if by magic we're now in the land of soda.
It was an uncomfortable night.
It was very cramped. It is made for families and children, but we just come to these areas to have a look around, and this is becoming the norm now for most big parks, isn't it? I think it started with Peppa Pig Land in Portland Park, but it seems like Alton Towers done it with CBeebies, here have done it with Thomas, and Peppa Pig have done it with, Portland's have done it with Peppa Pig, where they basically have...
I think Portland's Park is the best.
Oh yeah, but they were the ones that started. They basically have licensing for an area, for like a brand, and then they use that to make a heavily themed family land, and to be honest, it just makes these parks, it draws so many families in, like. But yeah, it's got a good selection of rides. They're all like heavily themed, and it's just nice to see these areas built because they, you know, they do draw the crowds into these parks. I do wonder what parks like Porton's and obviously Drayton Manor, with the struggles it's been having over the past few years, would be like without it, to be honest. There's a good selection of rides. You know, we've got a Zampala bounce tower over there. There's a little tug rope ride over here. We've got this like helicopter spinner here. We've got like a skyway ride up here. There is a little coaster in this area, which, to be honest, I think me and Louise will both say it's the best junior coaster in the country, isn't it? It's got quite a good layout. There's a few little pops of airtime.
I don't know enough to go to say that statement. That is.
Yeah, out of all the junior coasters I've done in this country, I'd probably say it's the best one. And it's just over here. You can see it off in the background. Quite a nice little roller coaster. One thing you really notice when you come into these sorts of family areas, they're the busiest areas of the park, aren't they? Obviously, the families come to go into Thomas Land and experience all the rides. Like here we got the turntable with Thomas, who's just brought us from the other station, and like I say, they turn him around on a turntable and then he goes back the other way. There's him and James running today. But the level of detail in these areas are absolutely amazing. Like you can't fault them, really, can you? You know, they even go to the point of hiding the smoking shelter out the way. And just, you know, look at this for a level of detail for a kids area. It's amazing. When I was growing up, it was Storybook Land in Alton Towers, and obviously like they had Talbot Street in Alton Towers. There was like the Toyland area of Chessington, but the parks never had like a massive dedicated area like this. Here's the coaster in the area, the Troublesome Trucks, probably about a 20-minute queue for that. I'll just take in some of the theme in and see what there is to offer. Like, it's a huge area. Like, we've walked around to the other side. That's what the weather was like last time we came in, wasn't there? And we've got this airport, which is like a cafe. There's a little like Dumbo ride themed to flying jets. It's just a huge area, so much for the kids to do. Really impressive. So I've actually got some pretty impressive ride time. This one, when it's in operation, it's just finished its cycle. Looks terrifying. It does. I'm gonna have to show you this one in a minute. It like is crazy for a little kid's ride. It's Toby's Tram Express. I can show you the roller coaster here, which, as you can see, isn't too tame by the looks of it. We went on this one last time, and it's got a pretty good layout with some decent pops of airtime. You obviously come out around here, you go up your first hill, which is a good, I don't know, about 20 foot. Then it's got a few helixes, and this little pop here is like a little like ejector airtime section. As you come in, you saw how fast it went in. This is actually a Gerstlauer roller coaster. I didn't know Gerstlauer did little family coasters, but there you go. It's a really good ride actually. Only runs the one train. I know it's only a short circuit. It does 2 laps to a ride. But yeah, it's got a pretty good throughput. It's about a half-hour queue from end to end. Right, so the sole reason we came into this land is to do the Troublesome Trucks Runaway roller coaster. It says about a 45-minute wait from there, which is where it goes into the station, but we waited from there last time, didn't we? And it was about half an hour or 20 minutes. So it's not too bad. It kind of depends on operations. Magic number 1.4 metres. So yeah, 45 minutes from here. We queued about the same last time, and it was not 45 minutes. They've got quite good operations here. So the queue like just goes off down here. It's a straight line to the end, and then you just board. So it's only about 3 or 4 cycles. So I'd barely say 20 minutes. I'll time it and let you know. And then while you're waiting, you've got the platform here, which is where the train goes through. Right, so we've just come off of the troublesome trucks. Not a 45-minute queue as it says. It only took just under 20 minutes to get to the front of the queue, which I don't think is too bad. It runs one train, does do 2 laps, and I stand by it. It's the best junior coaster in the country. It's got some it's pretty forceless at the beginning, as you'd expect, but that like little hop at the end is just, there's so much airtime in it. It's like, get out your seat. And we got a back row, so we got all the ejector. Yeah. And with Shockwave shut, that's like the best coaster in the park. So we're done in Thomas Land for now. Obviously, there's not as much for us to do here. We have done some of the flat rides here though, haven't we? But today it's particularly busy. So you're looking at like 10-15 minute queues for the little tiny flat rides. We went on the little like Skyway one last time we came here, and I think a couple of the other ones, but there's no point of us queuing for them today because it is busy. And yeah, we're going to go over towards Apocalypse. Well, I was going to go on Apocalypse. No. Louise has been on Detonator viewers. She loved Detonator. She in fact said Detonator was boring. We've got the Jolly Buccaneer here, which is it looks like it's the same as Sea Storm, except for it doesn't have the turning element. So it's a bit more basic. But yeah, it looks like a pretty well themed ride. Here is the Dark Ride, which I don't know the name of, but you can see it's closed off a few years ago now, I believe. Would have been cool to do. I think it was like a Pirates of the Caribbean inspired ride. Such a shame. Yeah. And the Dodgems look pretty walk-on, and I do like the theming they've got around this. It's pretty cool for a Dodgems. And they're in no way themed to pirates, the actual Dodgems themselves. It seems to be pretty busy here, but there seems to be a lot of like school groups and so on and so forth here, like Cubs and Beavers. Seem to all be here having their lunch at the moment, so it looks a lot busier than it actually is. Got 4D cinema, plenty of options for food, and we had fish and chips. We had chips last time, didn't we? And it was quite nice. But there's our next ride, the Accelerator, which still has the Ben 10 theming on the tip because I don't know. I imagine it's quite difficult to get that down. It's going to be more than a unscrew it and take it off jobby. Alright, so we're going on the Accelerator.
We're going on the 4D cinema.
Afterwards, there's a showing at 2 o'clock with a 4D cinema, which is Ice Age. We're going into the Accelerator where you can really see, they've tried to retheme this to this racing, but you can really, if you know it was Ben 10 before, you can really tell like, all these panels and stuff. Like, the level of theming is very good in here still, but you can kind of just see it still. Come off the Accelerator there. 45-minute predicted queue was actually only 20 minutes. So I'm starting to learn the trend. If it says 45 minutes, it's 20. So good operations from them here. And looks like we just missed the showing for Ice Age 4D. Let's wait till half-past showing. What do you want to do now though? Do you want to do the Apocalypse sit down side? I think you do. How do you rate the Accelerator?
I like it.
It is good. I do like the Junior of the Coleman Boomerangs. They're a hell of a lot better than the normal loop-de-loop ones. So we've just decided to have a chill out for the last 20 minutes, and we're going over to do the Ice Age 4D cinema, and then I do not have a clue what we're going to do after that. I'm thinking Stormforce 10 or Apocalypse. So yeah, we're going to do the Ice Age 4D cinema. It's about a 15-minute show. Happens every half an hour from about 11 o'clock, I believe. So it's in the building here, opposite Accelerator. And it's the same Ice Age 4D show that Alton Towers did, I think. I never actually saw it, but they did an Ice Age 4D show. Of course, I'm not going to be able to film in here, guys. Ice Age is a copyrighted material, of course, and it's a 4D cinema, which you're not allowed to film in general. So we'll see you when we get off the ride. We've just come out from the 4D cinema. I do like that one, it's quite a good one. It's not the best in the world. I think the best one we've done is Cadbury's World. That's not even a theme park.
Oh, yeah.
That one was good with the like flight simulator chairs. I do like that. Anyway, we're going out to Apocalypse now, going to see what the queue's like, and then I might go in. I don't know whether Louise is going to join me. Probably not, but we'll see. We're just going past the main shop now, which looks a bit better stocked than before, doesn't it though? Okay, oh look, they got ponchos here as well for Stormforce. Let's have a look at some of the merch. Got a lot of the history books here for 50p there. So the full history of Drayton Manor for 50p.
Yeah, look at these.
And a lot of stuff in South. No.
I'm gutted.
Why didn't you get some more? So we just seen they got some more with different colour lids. Right, so we've just, well, I've just been on Apocalypse, just went round to the sit down side, basically walk on, there was like a 5-minute queue. Louise sat this one out. We're now going to go on to the Flying Dutchman, which is this strange little chair swinging ride, which when we went on it last month, it was really windy and they were bashing into each other, weren't they? It was a bit crazy, and yeah, I've never seen a chair swinger quite like this one. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it though? We've just come off of Flying Dutchman, and I'm not a fan. I've never really been a fan of chairplanes or anything like that. Not only do I find them a little bit like, this is just going in a circle. It was maybe dizzy, not sick, just dizzy. I think we're getting old.
You are getting old.
This is going to be roller coasters, just go on carousels all day. We're going over towards Stormforce 10 and that sort of area of the park, and then I think we're probably going to be going to. We've got a long drive home, and we've basically done everything on park. Obviously Shockwave shut and it's not going to be opening, which is a big shame because that is the signature coaster here and I really wanted to do it. And I know you like that one, didn't you? Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, we're going over into the like thrill area of the park, which is like where G-Force is, Stormforce 10, Shockwave, Maelstrom, etc, etc. Having a cheeky stop off in Neptune's Amusements. I've got a few pound coins left from Blackpool. The other day we went over to Cove Island, does it sound like that? Coral Island. And I've got some pound coins left, so we're going to see if there's any amusements in here we want to do. I'm going to scoop him over.
Oh, he's close to the thing.
No, I didn't grab that time. I'm not grabbing. Sadly, no prizes were won that time. But you know what? Out of all of the arcades we've been to in a theme park, that's probably one of the best. It was nicely kept, it was clean, it had lots of lighting and stuff.
Towers.
Oh yeah, they can be a bit crummy. But I did win something, didn't we? We won the like I said, the teddy bear from Coral Island.
Yeah.
Blackpool. That's up by the tower. We're coming around to Stormforce 10. I don't know whether we're going to do it or not. It's see how wet are people. People were quite soaked. It's not exactly very warm, is it? I don't know. It's a super soaker ride. We did this and it's cold. I don't know. The thing is, it's not quite Valhalla, this ride. It's not got the theme and it's not got the indoor elements. It's just like the ride system. So I could probably give this one a miss. And it's got quite a long queue as well though. So we're on the Great Western Railway, apparently. This part of it. It's just the touring train of the park, and it only really goes around like Shockwave, the Rapids, behind Stormforce 10, so I should get some off-ride shots for you, but to be honest, it doesn't go right around the park, which sucks a bit. Like the theming around Stormforce 10, it just goes to show that these family parks really can compete with the bigger guns. Like this is an older ride, I think it was 1999 this one opened, and it's always been a fan favourite. You know, it's one of the UK's super soaker rides.
I would love to get on it. Like, don't get me wrong, if we were staying here tonight,
well, just look at that woman over there.
In the area,
look at that woman over there, she's soaked. But this is the thing, when we went to Blackpool, I went on Valhalla twice, Louise went once, but it was kind of like we had the hotel to go back to dry off and change clothes. We do have spare clothes in the car, but there's nowhere to really change into them and all that. So we're gonna be copping out of this one, which is a shame because I do like it. It is a really good water ride. If you're here and you get the chance, go on it. So here is the standing and operating G-Force. Oh, you can go around here though. Actually get really close to this. Like I said, this is a Mauer X-Car roller coaster. It was the first one in the world, I believe. I'm not sure whether Rip Ride Rocket was before this one or not, but yeah, it has a very unique little compact layout, and also has this lift which was I was going to say vertical. It flips you over, and they only ever had the one train for this, and this is the problem. With one train, it couldn't handle capacity, and if one train broke, they had no spare trains left on it. It is a shame to see that it's all closed down, but they don't seem to have started any of the ripping out. I suppose we won't really know properly until next season. Like if they were actually going to start thinking of removing this ride, I would have thought by now they might have started some groundwork behind those fences. I don't know, I think they might actually repair it and give it a paint job and maybe reopen it, but only time will tell. No one really knows at the moment. The skyline in this area on its own is amazing. You've got like this coaster, Stormforce, you've got Shockwave, which I do like the stand-up coasters. I hadn't been on one before then, and I'm so glad we did manage to get on it. We did a front row, and it was so good. It was quite smooth as well, given its age. Obviously, I'm still going to say Nemesis was the best out of all the three 1994 coasters, because it is just one of the best B&M inverts in the world. But this one still stood the test of time. And to be honest, I give the big one a bad rap. Like, I say it because I've been on.
Rather than last time. I know like people were like moaning about what our reactions were.
It depends on where you ride it, when you ride it.
Yeah, it's not just that, and how you are like in the day. If you've been on a lot of like rides,
shaking you around a lot.
And Blackpool, there's plenty of rides that do that.
Definitely.
But it was fine that day. I quite liked it. So
yeah. So we're probably going to make a move soon, get some more shots of Stormforce 10, and then where are we going? Right guys, so we are calling it. It is 4 o'clock, seems to be our favourite time to leave these parks. The park's open until 5, I think 5:30 tonight. But we've done everything. The only rides that we have...
You can just get stuff done. It wasn't like Alton Towers where it was like that.
Yeah, the only rides we haven't really done, like we haven't done the Maelstrom, and we've missed out on Stormforce 10. Yeah, we are. We were both just saying how we really just thought we should just say, oh, you know, screw it, we'll do it. But we've got a long drive and I don't want to be soaking wet. I know some of you will be like, oh, just do it, God, you know. But we're being mature because we got work tomorrow. It's been a great shame that Shockwave shut. I probably would have done that a couple of times today, and I know Louise would have joined me. That was a good coaster. It's a shame. Chances are we're not going to be revisiting this park until next season now.
We thought we were going to come in October because there's a services day that we can obviously go to.
But we had the rainy day tickets.
But because we had the rainy day tickets, it was like there's no need to come back that quick.
And the plan is we're hoping to go to Europa Park in November, so obviously we need to save a little bit for that. But that is the end of the Midlands trip. That was Blackpool, Alton Towers and Drayton Manor. I've had a really good time actually. It's been a really good week. I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. If you have, by all means leave a like and don't forget to subscribe for more roller coaster and theme park related content. We'll see you in the next video. Check out the Instagram before I always forget about that.
It's about me.
There's a link in the description, and we'll see you real soon, guys. Until then.